Hello. How are you doing this fine, wonderful Friday? I am Joyce Trowbridge with Softflix Fun Company doing Spill the Beads with Joyce Trowbridge. That's me on Friday mornings, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. Oh, hello, Melissa, Elizabeth, and Kathy. Melissa, Norma. Look at all the wonderful people in the comments. Hi, Pam. Hello, 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 Katney. Oh, are you making yours? Oh, I'm so excited to see. Yes, yes. The herringbone is a little bit of a challenge, but take your time. You could do it. You know, I was trying to do it fast because we only have a limited time on these lives, you know, but take your time. It's okay, especially when you're learning a new skill. But I'm so happy that you have your kit so you could start that. Hope everyone's staying cool and healthy. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Ann. Hi, Rosalinda. No, Rosanna is on here. Sorry. Hi, Linda. Oh, hi, Sherry. Hi, Sue. Well, welcome, Boot Scoot and Boogie. I'm excited to have you on here with me. This is part 2 of our project from last week. Last week, we started a necklace. I have like one half of it done. And today we're going to go over how to make a bail with the, to put our pendant. I found my butterfly. We thought it fled away, but we found it. Hello, Sherry. Hi, Margaret. Look at all these wonderful people. So if you want to win one of these beautiful pendants to work with it, it is a shell with a butterfly and flowers on it. You're going to see it underneath the camera in a minute. Put hashtag bail, because we're going to make bails for the pendant, in the comments, and you will enter to win. We will make the drawing at the end of the live. You must be present to win. We'll give a few minutes because I know sometimes there's a delay in the broadcast and stuff. So we'll give it a few minutes to make sure that you are here so nobody loses out. In the meantime, let's switch over just to my camera, my bead mat. And then we have, I kind of, not only am I doing this for my shell pendant that you can find on our website, and you got a chance to win this, plus a whole bunch of other wonderful things with our Softflix wire on our website, softflixcompany.com. We have a live sale going on. We do live sales on Thursdays, 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time. And that is going on. If you miss the live during those times, the sale goes on through Sunday at midnight. There are some amazing pendants with the top drilled just like that in stone in there, and some other shells. And so that's part of the reason why this project got this. I wanted to show, if you don't have a bail and you don't want to just do a little loop of Softflex, which you can, easy to do, right? I'm going to show you a couple ways to make a bail. I have a bail that I'm going to use with Softflex, and then I'm going to do a quick bail with the craft wire also. But we're going to make a bail for this one to go with our necklace. So this is half of my necklace, and because I didn't have my my pendant last week, we didn't go over how to connect over to the other side. And so we're going to make the bail and connect it over, and it's going to just go just fine and dandy. A lot of fun. Hello, Dana. Hi, welcome. Hi. Good to see everybody on here. So I was working with the lapis and the turquoise, and I made these braids, and I'm going to use braiding to do the bail. You could do just a basic bail with just plain bail, the plain wire, and that will kind of give you a nice, like, thicker than one strand, especially if you do it in like the solid color. It will look really nice because it's a thicker bail than just one wire. But I'm going to do it adding some beads to make it a little bit more decorative. This does use up some crimps, so do be aware. You got to have your crimps on hand. You got to have a nice little stash of crimps. In order to do the braid, you got to have multiple crimps. It's just how it is, because it fills up those crimps, and you can't put all the beads into, or all the wires into a bead sometimes. And it's just kind of the nature of the beast. You can use your regular crimper or your magical crimper. I'm going to be using my magical crimper. And then I have my, oh, there it is. I have my lapis soft flex in the medium, in the dark blue lapis color. That I'm going to do. I have about 6 inches, 2 pieces that are about 6 inches, and I'm going to cut one that's a little bit longer, kind of like 9 inches or so. Don't need this much, but again, I save my little scraps. We talked about this last week. I save my little scraps to use when you're using the magical crimper. Sometimes it's nice to have more than the 2, so like putting a third wire up, or when I'm doing this style where I want the crimp bead on either side to make it float, and it's just a single wire, you have to have at least 2, but preferably 3 even sometimes, to fill up that hole of the crimper to make the tool work better. Hi, Stephanie, welcome. So I'm going to start out with putting 3 of these wires together, and I'm going to let the longer one kind of stick out a couple inches. I'm going to place a crimp on all 3 of these. And we are going to squeeze down. That'll give us our first ravioli shape. And then squeeze, rotate it and squeeze, and just work it around to make that ball. Hi, Jenny, welcome. And then I'm going to cut off those little extra pieces right up against the crimp. That's the beauty of the magical crimper. Once it's crimped down, it's nice and secure, so you can cut it right at the edge. Now, if you want a little bit more balance, I would suggest to either secure this on a clipboard or your macrame board or something like that, so that you're not having to balance. But you know, I live on the edge, for those that's in does this with me, and I am just going to go for it. and start braiding it in my hands. And we're going to do a balance trick. I'm going to pull one bead on to the center one and then cross over the right over it, and so that it's coming to the side. I think this technique for this bail works best with smaller beads. This is a 3mm bead. Whoop. And it's going to come, it's not going to stay in place at first just because there's nothing there to kind of keep it in place. So it's going to be a little tricky. I've done it two different ways. I'm doing it like I'm doing right now, or the other way is you could string up some of the beads already on here, but you're going to definitely need to put like bead stoppers so they don't fall off on. So that works, but make it work for yourself on how you can do it. I'm going to take the one that I crossed over, I'm going to take and put a bead on and let that slide up, trying to keep my tension, and those beads are going to slip, but it's okay. Just move them back into place. And then when I go to cross the next one, it's going to help keep them into place. I like to do these 3mm size, or I also use like size 8 seed beads or the delicate beads that we carry. I tried it with the rolla beads and it kind of works. I'm going to show that in a little bit, but not as well as the smaller. And right now, this is wanting to, they're going to be a little roly-poly at first. Take your time, breathe. So you're just gonna, the one you cross over, you add another bead. And the more you get on here, the more they stay in place. And then you cross one over. And that helps lock that one into place. Put the one on that crossed over. And then cross over again. Just work them. Now that these ones are staying, I can work the top ones a little bit better so that they stay in the spot that I want them to. Whoop. This is why a clipboard would be very handy. And then cross over. And then you're going to do this as many as you want. But if you do too many, you're going to have a very big bail. So you want to kind of pick the amount that you want. My brain always wants an odd number and not an even, but an even number lays better. So I'm going to let you choose which one you want to do. I'm going to do an odd number because my brain really wants to have odd numbers in things like this, even though I know the even would lay better. Oh, am I too far away? I'm so sorry, Anne. Yes, the Naughty Do-It-All board is great for holding that into place. So do we need here, we'll take that out a little bit so that you can see. Okay. But I don't want to lose these top ones since I finally got those kind of in the same way. So it's the one that crosses over, You add the bead. And then you cross the next one over. And that keeps it kind of in place. You want to kind of pinch those edges so that they don't totally. And then this fall apart. So the one that crosses over, I'm adding a bead, bringing it up, letting it stack up right next to the other one, and then cross over the next. It ran away is what mine did. It went and decided to go do another project and not be loyal to me. Exactly. Even we'll make it like more a better, and then um let it lay better, but there's something about it, and you will get that one at the top. It just makes my brain happier, so we're just going to go with that. Yes, I love braiding in this way, and I've done a multi-strand bracelet, which I need to repost that. We did it a long time ago with Softflex. Before I worked for Softflex, I did it on a bead party, and I should probably look that one up again because it's really fun. And I'm just using, it's a multi-strand bracelet, and one of the multi-strands is this technique. And as you could tell, I love to braid soft flex. So I got the crimp on. When you get the second crimp, sometimes it's hard to keep it balanced. So just one at a time, just pull gently and you'll get it back even. Just be very gentle when you pull so that you don't over pull the sides, but you can get back to being even. And then we're going to work this bead back into place and crimp. There we go. Nice. So now we have a braid with the beads, and these are going to go in this direct like that for the bail. We're going to crimp this crimp. Now I'm going to cut 2 of these off. Good. Every once in a while, these things just want to move on you because you're moving things around. Just get them back into place. But usually it's because I'm like fiddling too much. So not other things. Let's see. So now I have this, right? I need to have a bead that both of these fit. I can't use the same ones because they're two. But let's see if we have. Ooh, I think I want to get another. I'm going to get another one of these flowers. Let's see if these flowers, because that would be pretty on the top. Let's see if this flower will take 2. No, it doesn't. Oh, so sad. Okay. Oh, you know what? My sparkly bead that I'm using, that one does. Yay. Nice. There we go. That looks great. All right, so that's going to be the bead. That goes, that I have that bead in my piece. So that's going to be good. Did you find it? Thomas found the bracelet that has the braid in it. Yes, you could totally do this with craft wire, Dana. Sorry, I got into the comments here. Um, yes, you could do this with craft wire. I would say do it with 22 gauge um, or 24 maybe, because if you want to braid it, and it will make it stiffer. So, which is kind of a nice. Sometimes you need a stiffer bail for things. So, yeah, Thomas is on it. That's why we love our Thomas, right? Okay, so I have my bead. Now I'm going to put one more crimp on it. I know there's a lot of crimp. Well, it depends on what you do. So here, I'm going to actually put I'm going to put a crimp on and then put both of them. There's a hole right there. There's the hole right there. And I'm not going to crimp the crimp in this case. I'm just going to run the crimp through. I have 2 cores going through this now. And then I could either, depending on the size hole, this is a good size hole, I'm going to just put both of them through. But if you wanted to, you could just do one through. If you have a piece that has a smaller hole, you can always just do one of these. And then after you crimp, you would just cut off the extra. And then I'm going to take the 2 and go back up through the crimp. When you can't grab it with your fingers, you grab a pair of tools. I do like the soft flex crimps have a large enough hole that we can put 4 of these through, usually. But again, if you have problems doing it, you don't have to do all 4 of them. You could, or both of these. You could just do one. And then pull the cord so that they make the loop even. Come on. When you can't pull it with your fingers, grab a tool to make it work. Even those out. Bring that to the back. And now crimp this crimp. like that. And now I just need to readjust this one because I goofed and grabbed it wrong. Let's find it. Oops. It worked. They work back into place. They do. I just got to give it. Of course, now my fingers are feeling way too big. Do you get that feeling sometimes that your fingers are way too big? There we go. There we go. I do kind of have a tendency to sing. Yes, every once in a while. Uh, I tend to sing to my beats because I feel like that's the only way they listen to me. I'm a horrible singer, though. Well, we're gonna play with that later because you don't need to see me fuss with this. I do not usually have this much of a problem with them moving into place, but I feel like my fingers are deciding to be a little bit big. But still, even with them like out of place, it looks cute. So I'm not like angry at it. So if I decide to leave it like that, I might leave it like that because that looks cool too. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I'm looking for having a dowel through that. That's a great idea, Dana. So I think it looks pretty good anyway. All right, so we're gonna go and we're gonna make a connection over to the next set for this, which is, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I am going to add a crimp to my piece here. And I am going to make sure this is about the same distance as that spacing over there on that side. Now this little piece of blue that's in here, the blue lapis, is going to get cut away. This is just to fill up the hole in the crimp so that the crimp will work in the magical crimper easier. Ah, thank you. And we're going to add I want a leaf again. I love these leaves, and I have enough of them to add more. So let's add some more here. And then go through my bail. Yeah, I'm going to just let it sit right there on top of these two. And then a crimp. And then we're going to add that little scrap again inside the crimp so that you can go in there. I promise you. And you're going to get cut off those extra. Try not to let them fling so that you can use them later. And then I'm ready for my next one. And this, of course, is when I'm going to add the blue and switch over from the turquoise to the blue. So I'm going to make sure that this is a longer piece because it's going to need to go all the way up further. And then let's get a crimp on. So I have a question. How is the sound today? I did something a little bit different because I got feedback that last week the sound was a little, and we couldn't decide if it was the connection or the mic. Is today's sound a little bit better? I checked both connection and chain. And Thomas says it's great on his end, so that's why I want to check and make sure. Though sometimes when we're by the time it's streaming live, it changes a little bit. Oh, good. I'm glad. So no glitches this time. Yay. Maybe it was just a bad sound day or connection day. Okay, got that on here. And this time I want to remember to cut the turquoise one, because if I cut that lapis one, I'm going to not have the color I want for my next set of beads. All right, so now I have my bail. And if I wanted to, I could make that, could have accommodate, I'm leaving it to be loose because I think that's going to be fun for my project. Keep in mind the size that you're going to want, because you may need that to be smaller if you want it to stay in place. Good. I love it. I want things to be nice and clear and happy. So that is how it came together right there. I used that same technique for this one. I wanted to show how I did it for a bead that actually has a hole going through. This is one of our pink fossil corals that we have on our website, and making this into a pendant using the same technique. I did the braid with rollas. Now I kind of feel like the rollas are a little bit big, but maybe they're not. I don't know. But I did the same 2 crimps. Oops. And then I went through a rolla bead because I had the rolla beads. I just used the same. And then I crimped at the bottom, and I put an extra crimp at the bottom this time. This one, after the bead, I didn't crimp it right there. I went through the top hole and then back, as you remember. This one, I needed to crimp there and just leave one so that I could go through this bead, because this bead doesn't have a large enough hole for 2 wires. And then I'm going to take another crimp. We're going to get another piece of wire down there and crimp at the bottom. You could make a loop here too if you wanted to, and dangle something else from underneath. You can dangle a tassel from it. There's so many things that you could do with this, but you can use that same making a bail. And what's nice about making your own bail, it adds to the jewelry, gives some texture, makes it lay differently. You can then make this, you could do this onto a beaded cord. You can, beaded necklace. You could do this onto a leather cord, a piece of chain, all sorts of stuff. And it gives you more options. Oh, absolutely could have put another roll of bead at the bottom. You can add beads at the bottom for sure. That would be lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. But that gives you another way to use this bail with a different type of bead. Now, if someone mentioned the doing this technique with craft wire. So if I was to do that with craft wire, I just grabbed my rose gold. We're going to move this over to the side. Rose gold wire. I'm going to cut 3 pieces of that. I'm going to take one of them and wrap around the edge of 2 of them like a couple times just to combine it together. I'm not going to cut that yet. Because then I have a tail, and then I could braid this. And if I want to add the beads, I can add the beads. Let's grab some beads. We need to add, beads. You need beads, Joyce. Ooh, I got this cool green. Let's try this green. These are 4 millimeter. I wouldn't go necessarily more than 4 millimeter. Then it's hard to kind of keep things in place. So the wire or cord that crosses over gets the new bead, and then you cross over a wire. These two are going to move a little bit, so I would suggest to either put them, they're going to move while you're trying to braid it. So putting them in a bead stopper will help. Okay, now this one that's crossing over is going to get a new wire, a new bead, and then cross over the next one. It is a simple braiding technique, you know, it's not nothing. It's just adding beads. Cross and cross over to keep it into place. Grab a bead. Cross the next one over. And that looks like it's big enough. I don't have to braid as much when it is the larger 4mm. Just going to braid that a little extra there and take one of these and wrap around a couple times. Well, 3 times. That's my number. Okay, so now I got that part of the bail. You can curve this around either by hand like I am doing, or make it go around your pliers or a dowel or a mandrel. I'm going to, this one's really wrapped nice and tight close to it, and this one's not. So I'm going to undo this one and get it a little closer. Look like my wires slipped before I realized they slipped. I'm cutting that extra wire there. Now that I have these 2 sides pretty even. Yes, get like and share this video if you're having fun with me. And then we're going to bring those 2 wire wraps together. Now this is where you want to decide how you want this to look. If you want it nice and neat, I would coil underneath. If you want to give it a fun little messy look, that's another option. I'm going to attach this to my other, I have the pink floral shell also, and I think with that green that I have and that rose gold, that's going to be a really pretty pendant, a bail for that. So I'm going to attach it to this one. And so I can, this is what I can do. I can take one of these to go through, or 2 of these to go through, and then come back up, which is what I think I'm going to do. I could just have one of them. If I was going to, if this was like one of these, I would just keep one of these open and then snip off the extra. But in this case, I am going to make a loop here. with my round nose pliers with those two longer wires. So I got a nice loop. So that's going to curve. Ooh, I wasn't in the camera. So sorry. So it's nice and curved like that, and then bring this through. Boo, boo, boo. Come on, come on. There you go. Thank you. All right. I'm going to do one wrap around with this wire to secure it. Cut off those. And then I am going to cut off. So I wrapped the two that went through, I wrapped it around and then cut off the extra. And this one I'm going to cut the extra, but just like a little under so that there's like a little tail. I'm going to bring these together, and then I'm going to wind all of that together with this wire. And I'm catching all those tails and just do a nice little messy wrap. You can add little beads to that. You could do if you want to decorate it, but I'm just going to do a nice little wire messy wrap there. So that's what it looks like with the craft wire. So I use the 22 gauge rose gold silver plated soft flex craft wire for that one, and 4mm fire polish. And that's how that one turned out. So those are the different ways to kind of use that braiding technique with either beading wire. I'm going to take this off for a second so you can see it. And you can have it look more uniform like these, or you can have it let it go clustery like this one decided to do. I can work it to get them back in line, but I'm really starting to dig the clustery look. So I think I'm going to leave the clustery look. What do you think? Should I leave that clustery look on that one? Or should I get them back in line like they really were? I like that, Dana. Yes, I could totally do a spiral to cover the wraps. There's so many ways to like change the look up. It's so great. Ah, yeah, I think I do want to leave that, huh? Leave that little cluster. I think it is kind of cute. I didn't think I was going to like it as much, but it's like so growing on me, and I think it looks really pretty. And it goes really great with that little. So there's a couple. I just wanted to show different ways to make your own bales so that you can like make your piece a little, you know, bring it to a different level and not just do a simple loop. I do simple loops all the time, but sometimes you want it to be a little extra, right? Because I like to be a little extra. Oh, you're welcome. Let's change that over. Oh, my cord is in the way. So, should we find out who's the winner? Did you get your hashtag bail in the comments so that you can enter to win our lifestyle? You can win one of these butterfly shell pendants that I just did with today. You get that hashtag in? Oh, yeah. Get those hashtags. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so glad that everyone enjoyed it. Let's go find the button, share the screen with you. Let's find out who. Yay! 44 entries. Last second to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who's our lucky winner? Cubby Bear! Are you still here with us today, Cubby Bear? Say hello in the comments so we know that you caught it. Absolutely, Teresa. Teresa, sometimes you don't have a bail that works, so this way you can make one. Hello, hello. Are you here with us? Yay, you're here. Awesome. Congratulations. Thomas is going to put it in the comment, but please email us at info@softflexcompany.com to give for your shipping, and we will get you one of these beautiful butterfly shell pendants. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. I enjoy beading with you on Friday mornings. Spill the Beads with Joyce Trowbridge for Soft Flex Company, 9:30 a.m. Pacific Time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and all those times in between. You can always catch the replays from past ones or even this one if you want to check it out again by you can find the replays on our YouTube channel and in our Facebook group and on our Facebook page. We have a live sale going on right now. Our live sales always start on Thursdays at 1 p.m. Pacific Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and goes through Sunday at midnight. We have a drawing for that with the every shipped order gets a free little gift plus an entry into a giveaway, and the winner is announced on Tuesdays on our VIB groups for that. We have a wonderful sale going on softflexcompany.com's website. I'm seeing if I have a graphic for it. Yes, right here. Spend $59 and get $10 store credit to use on your next order, plus free shipping with online orders over $65. And there's a bunch of fun things. Have you got your new Grateful Heart design kit yet? Hope you did, because it's a wonderful kit. And then we have a lot. Thanks for making Friday wonderful. I had a great time. Thank you. I'm so glad. This has been fun, and I love hanging out and spill beads with you. Bye-bye.